in Dvorim, Parshas Kisova. Shekulon eino elo haflo achas. All of them only describes one level of pele, meaning one form of wondrous, unusual, supernatural plagues, punishments. Hifla Hashem es makois. The kan shtei aflos. See, it says two aflos. And after someone says half flow of that. So now let's try and understand, why should it be that the death of tzaddikim should be worse than the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash? And Rashi says even more the class. So let's try and understand, what is a korban? The person who does a sin has to bring a korban. Now, as we know, Kosh Baruch Hu doesn't need food. Right? Kosh Baruch Hu is totally non-corporeal. Right? Kosh Baruch Hu doesn't have a body, doesn't have any human limitations. Kosh Baruch Hu doesn't need food, he doesn't need drink. So what is the idea of bringing a Kosh Baruch Hu a korban? Sacrifice. So Chazal explained that a person who sinned has got to bring a sin offering. That before he before the actual korban was slaughtered, he would have to make a confession. So say, listen, I've done a certain sin, and I confess that I've sinned, and together with the confession, because obviously the Chazal explained that there's 4 chalkei kapara, the 4 parts to any person's atonement. He first of all has to have charata ala ova, regret for what he's done in the past. Kabbalah ala osid, accepting upon himself to improve his ways in the future. Vidui, confessing that he sinned. Now it's interesting that besides having been sorry for what he's done, he's got to actually speak out and confess. And and obviously aziva sachet, leaving the chet itself, no longer doing the chet. When Chazal in aziva sachet means, let's say chas v'shalom, give an example, somebody was not careful about basar v'cholav, and he used to eat cheeseburgers. Issa d'oraisa basar v'cholav. So a person says, okay, now he stops himself, he mustn't have meat and milk together. But what does he do? Every day he walks past the McDonald's. I missed that cheeseburger. That's not aziva sachet. Aziva sachet means if a person realizes he's done avera, he's got to make every measure whatsoever that he avoids succumbing again to do the avera. So therefore, if first the chas v'shalom was used to eating cheeseburgers, right, he's got to be careful to avoid walking past the McDonald's. Avoid the temptation. So those are the 4 things. Avoiding aziva sachet, meaning avoiding the temptation. Being sorry about doing the charot alava, sorry that he did the sin. Acceptance of the future that he's not going to do it anymore, and he's not going to do it. And vidui, actually confessing. So part of that, when the person brought a korban, he had to confess. And part and parcel of the confession wasn't just to confess without any acceptance of improving his ways. A person had to do tshuva. So once a person has done tshuva and confessed his sin, what was the point of actually bringing the korban? Chazal say that when a person saw that the korban was shechted, right, the person had to visualize that this little sheep, or goat, or cow, whatever the one may be, is being shechted. That's him! because he's done the Aveira, it should have been him who should have shouted. He should have forfeited his life because he's done the Aveira. But the Kosh Baruch Hu spared him. Especially since he did the Aveira unintentionally. The person who called him was for an unintentional Aveira. Since he did it unintentionally, the Kosh Baruch Hu spared him. And instead, that little sheep is being shafted in his place. So the idea of bringing a korban wasn't so much to appease a Kosh Baruch Hu. It was to, a person should learn the lesson and realize the severity of his Aveira and to wake him up, to shake him out of his slumber, right? And to realize the severity of what he's done. Chazal tell us that, and this is what the Chazal tell us, Mises Tzaddik, the death of a tzaddik will have the same effect. And how so? Nowadays we don't have a basic. Let us try and answer, what is a tzaddik? A tzaddik is somebody whose entire life has been bound to service of a Kodesh Baruch Hu, to serve a Kodesh Baruch Hu. And such a person has been an example to all the people who live around him of the way a person should behave. When if a person learns in the lifetime of a tzaddik and learns from this tzaddik's behavior, whilst the tzaddik is still alive, that's fine. That's where it should be. That's the best way. But if chas v'sholem, the tzaddik is there, and the people are not learning from his ways, they're not taking his example. Why? Because they think, oh, the tzaddik's with us, fine, we can rely on the tzaddik's good deeds to protect us. And they're not sufficiently learning from his example. So what's the Kodesh Baruch Hu? Kodesh Baruch Hu's got to give us a big jolt in the same way as the shechita of the Torah. It's the same way as somebody who's done an Aveira sees the shafting of the korban and gives him a jolt. He says, wow, that should be me. Now we don't have a Beis HaMikdash. Kodesh Baruch Hu takes away the tzaddik to give us this jolt. Why is Kodesh Baruch Hu taking away this tzaddik? This tzaddik was good with us. He had his relying his good deeds. Kodesh Baruch Hu said, listen. And this is pshat in the pasuk in Sefer Yishai. When people, there are tzaddikim among us, and nevertheless the people aren't learning from his behavior and the way the general people fulfill the mitzvahs is in a lacking feeling. Unlike the tzaddik, they lack feeling. They just keep the mitzvahs out of rote, out of habit, without any feeling. So Kodesh Baruch Hu says, this is the way you're keeping the mitzvahs. I'm going to give you. You need to be woken up. What are you doing? Fulfilling you, serving me, without any feeling, without any feeling of connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I'm going to jolt you. More than just jolt you. I'm going to shake you up. And I'm going to take that cherished tzaddik from you. And thereby, that will wake you up. So that's the idea of the kapara. It's not just a magic potion. The idea of a kapara is the person thereby will improve his ways. The person will wake up from his situation of being distant from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. unaware of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, lacking connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And in the same way as a korban, this man HaMikdash fulfilled that purpose of waking a person up, bringing a person closer to Hashem, so too, Chazal tell us, the death of the tzaddik will shock the people, will shake up the people. And this way, it will bring Klal Yisrael closer to Hashem. For sure, the Chatchila, the most desired way should be that the tzaddik in his lifetime, we should learn from his example. But if Chas v'Sholem, the people don't learn from the tzaddik in his lifetime, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send, Chas v'Sholem will take the tzaddik away. But the purpose is to jolt the people into being awakened, into further, closer awareness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this way, this will bring them to Tshuva. So in that respect, why is it that the death of tzaddikim is worse than even destruction of the Beis HaMikdash? The Beis HaMikdash is really a tremendous gift from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What is the Beis HaMikdash? Chazal say, "Osu li mikdash v'shochanti b'soicho." Chazal asks, what do you mean? It should say, make for me a temple, a mishkan, a dwelling,